we can move forward, I guess. Is that
Yes,
it? Okay,
that's
so
about
moving
it.
on to UFC Fight Night that's happening tomorrow. Today we're recording, it's a Friday. It's going to be happening tomorrow night, Saturday. We have the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, who's coming off an amazing little stint here. He just got a new re-up contract with the UFC, getting paid handsomely, and he's facing Junior Dos Santos, the former heavyweight champion. Now, Junior Dos Santos versus Derek Lewis is the classic situation of a brawler versus a very technical striker. Junior Dos Santos has a speed advantage. He's always had a speed advantage, especially with those crisp hands
Yeah.
with his boxing. Facing off against Derek Lewis, who literally was on the brink of defeat against Alexander Volkov.
And put out a
and then
crazy
We've seen him
finish.
just burst onto the scene.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing him against Junior Dos Santos. It's either going to be Junior Dos Santos' next attempt to try to get back to where he was,
Yeah.
or we're going to see Derek Lewis just jumping right back into the fray of being one of the guys who's one of the most dangerous one-punch knockout artists in the UFC history.
Yeah, I gotta start by saying I love Derek Lewis, big fan of his. Just so funny on Instagram and everything. I love everything he stands for. But he's definitely not a complete mixed martial
No.
artist. He's a brawler. He admits that, and I like it. He's coming in, has his heart on his sleeve, and he's not hiding anything. He knows how he's gonna approach each fight. And you have JDS, excuse me, as his opponent, someone that's so experienced, someone that's really a well-rounded fighter with a big, strong suit in boxing, obviously, and trying not to get taken down. So I think that this fight is not gonna end up on the ground unless someone's getting ground and pounded.
I was going to ask you, what's the likelihood of JDS scoring a takedown?
I think JDS, honestly, he probably should try.
Yes.
But honestly, I don't think he will.
No?
I don't know why, because I've always perceived JDS as just a striker, kind of.
Right.
That has a really hard sprawl and he's hard to take down himself. So I don't know. I'm seeing this as a fight. I don't know. The factor here is how calculated is JDS gonna come in. Is he gonna come in, jab, move around, realizing how powerful Derek Lewis is and how he can knock him out, and just be careful with that? Which is, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Because this is really one of the last trains for JDS. I don't want to be a hater, but I mean,
It's facts.
this is one of his last runs.
It's just facts.
So he needs every win from now on. So my guess would be he would come calculated. So a little maybe outside of the box would be to say that this fight might actually end up going to decision, which is a little shocking maybe even to myself to say it out loud, because a knockout is very, you can definitely predict a knockout in a fight like this, but it's a 3-round fight anyway. So
Yep.
I think it might go to decision for JDS, I would say.
I got Derek Lewis winning in a second-round knockout.
That's completely not out of the realm of possibilities.
I mean, for me, I just see JDS like coming in there, doing his thing. He's gonna do, and all it's gonna take is one punch.
I know, and
we've
I don't know
seen
if JDS can take him anymore.
As we've seen JDS go down from big shots, and I think Derek Lewis might get outclassed in terms of technical boxing, but if you're scared to the point where if one lands, the entire complexion of the fight is changing.
Yeah.
That sticks in your head regardless. And if we see JDS go for a takedown, I'm going to laugh. It's going to be funny.
Well,
because
yeah.
I don't know if he's going to have the wherewithal to hold someone like Derek Lewis down.
That's the other point.
It's different when someone
Yeah.
say, for example, a Cain Velasquez is fighting
Right.
a Lewis.
Right.
He makes his bread and butter by holding
I
dudes
just
down.
think that the wrestling is not there for Junior on that level. I think Junior is probably amazing at sprawling and not getting taken down, but I don't think his offensive wrestling is really there. I don't think it's even in his mentality so much. And you can play this video again once he takes him down after the fight, and I'm completely wrong. But yeah, that's based on what we've seen so far, I would say I think it's going to stay on the feet, and I think Junior's not even going to shoot for any takedowns.
I think this might end similar to the way Francis Ngannou versus
I
Cain
didn't. I
Velasquez.
kind of had
It
that
could-
thought.
It could just come out and be a quick knockout. I don't think it will be. I think Junior Dos Santos is going to respect the power for the first round, and out of nowhere, Derek Lewis might just clip him at some point in the second round. So
Might,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
for
sticking
sure.
by
It's
now.
always a possibility, but again, I think Junior at this point in his career realizes the stakes.
I'm going out on a limb.
and he's
I
way
think
too
I'm going out on a
experienced to
limb.
risk it.
I think,
no,
like-
absolutely. That's totally the other option. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the decision. You go with the knockout in the second
All right,
round.
cool. Let's see how that pans out. Anything else that you want to talk about today, real quick, or is that it?
That's about it. Were there any other fights on the card that
if you
need
wanted-
our attention?
Yeah, if you wanted to talk about your countryman, Blagoy.
Oh yes, let me just talk. Let's close off on
Let's
on
talk a
that
little bit
fight.
about your countryman here.
Yes.
He's facing off against
So
Big Ben Rothwell.
first of all, again, no hate, Blagoy and stuff. I mean, bro, like you're the worst representative of my nation, like with that beard and the power gut and all this stuff. I mean, dude, come on. But I can see there's a lot of people that look exactly like him in Bulgaria. And it's so good, baby. It's so good. He's definitely not the articulate kind of like talker that's gonna like grab onto the mic. He's not even in Bulgarian. I've watched some interviews of his. It's not his thing. He's very like short with his answers and stuff like that. But anyways, the guy has a crazy story because he got stabbed in the heart. If you see that
Holy
scar,
shit,
see that
that's
scar?
what that is?
He got stabbed in the heart at a nightclub.
Okay.
And he, I don't know how they said it. I think when he came out of the hospital, he said, the doctors told me I died like 12 times during the operation. And they had to resuscitate him back each single time because, he got stabbed in the heart. And just the fact that he survived that, even the doctors are saying that
That's
it's a
crazy.
miracle, because you're getting stabbed in the heart outside of a nightclub. Just by the time you go to the hospital, you're most likely dead. Guy goes through a bunch of operations, survives it. He had lost a lot of weight after that little period, which is absolutely
Makes sense.
Makes sense. And for him to be back and to see him back and fighting and stuff like that, and even making it out to the UFC post all those things happening, I'm like, wow, it's amazing. I didn't even expect a Bulgarian guy to ever like make it to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, even though, and actually, like I watched his fight against JDS. I don't know if you were able to catch that. There was a few months ago he fought JDS.
I remember him fighting. I don't remember how
JDS,
it panned
yeah.
out.
Well, they went to decision. JDS won the decision, which is good on one hand. And he was really going for more big punches against JDS. JDS was kind of doing his thing, working around him. And our guy here, the Bulgarian dude, tried to blast him a few times. He kind of did a few times catch him, but wasn't enough to put JDS out. And I think he had a fairly good performance against JDS for his first fight in the UFC, thrown against JDS, And, I think he can be a good kind of like meat of the table guy for the UFC for the heavyweight division, which we know is already kind of short on staff, let's say that way, on fighters.
For sure.
So, I think now they're giving him Ben Rothwell. I didn't expect that fight either, So they're giving him these like older kind of legends, and it's great for them because they get a guy that they potentially would probably win because they have the more experience in the UFC and so forth. And for him, it's every fight like that is an opportunity to put his name out there. I think he trains in the camp in American AKK. Did I say that right? American Kickboxing
Academy, AKA.
Okay, AKK. I'm like, what the fuck? This sounds like KKK. Way too much. Just had a brain fart. But anyways, he trains there. I think on and off. I don't think he's there full time. I think he lives in Bulgaria, but he goes and does his camps there.
Yeah.
Which is I don't think he's really a wrestler from what I know.
No, he's never been taken down, interestingly enough.
Right. You know what? He's like combat sambo. You know what the funny thing about him is? He beat Fedor in a combat sambo fight.
wow.
I forget what year, like a few years,
Yeah.
before like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. He's the only guy to beat Fedor in combat sambo, and I've seen the the footage. I can probably put it on top of this video so you guys can see it's a quick
That's
fight.
amazing.
And it's in the typical, you've seen the combat sample, like the wrestling mat and all that stuff, where they fight with the gi top and the headgear. So he beat Fedor. So that's one, like, notch on his cap. He's definitely got potential. I'm looking forward to seeing him some more. It's just kind of nice to have him as token Bulgarian guy in there.
Jad Juice with if you guys were thirsty, there's your daily dose of the juice right there. That was damn interesting. That was really cool. I did not know about the heart, and I did not know about the Fedor comment. Yes. Obviously, he's done his research on his fellow countrymen, and that's damn interesting. If you did not know who Blagoy Ivanov is, now you have a little bit of an intro into who he is. He's 16-2, by the way, so that's a damn good record.
Yeah. And his last loss was against JDS, so really, he's had a pretty good career outside of the UFC, and I think he's got potential to maybe get a couple wins here and there in the UFC.
100%. We got an interesting fight there.